We'll go ahead and get started. As customary, we always start off with a word of prayer, and I'll lead us in this prayer at this time. Dear Lord, we just thank you for this day that you've given us. We just thank you for the nice weather we have here. We pray for the folks down in Florida and Cuba and the other places where this hurricane may have an effect. We pray, Lord, that you would be with these families down there and be with the ones that render aid and protect them. Lord, just thank you for being able to live here in Hart County, in the state of Georgia. We thank you for all our EMS, our emergency services, Lord. Our EMS, our law enforcement, our judicial system, Lord. We just thank you for the caliber of people that we have working here in Hart County. Lord, we just pray that you would be with our service men and women who have bravely fought for this country. And we just pray for the ones that are still serving, Lord. We just pray that you'd be with them and protect them. And Lord, be with us during this meeting and help us all to make the best decisions for the people of Hart County. In thy name we pray. Amen. Amen. Let's all stand for a pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We appreciate everyone participating in the pledge and your allegiance. I'll call the meeting to order. Tuesday, September 27th, 2022, Board of Commissioners. I'd like to welcome each one here. Whether you're here in person or watching by YouTube channel, Hart County Board of Commissioners, or HTC Channel 3 on your cable network. We appreciate your attendance. First on the agenda is to approve the agenda. Do we have any additions that we need to?
I'd like to add permission to send out basketball uniform bid under 13C. And that's all the changes I have.
Okay. Can we get a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
So moved.
We got a motion by Commissioner Teasley, a second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Bennett. Any discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? It's 5-0 vote. Okay, we'll move on to the minutes. First of all, the September 13th, 2022 meeting, regular meeting minutes. Do we have any additions or corrections to those? If not, can we get a motion to approve?
So moved.
We got a motion by Commissioner T.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Brown. Any discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? It's 5-0 vote. Okay, now we'll call for the minutes of the called meeting, September 6th. Any additions or corrections to those? If not, can we get a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Bennett.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Brown. Any discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? It's 5-0 vote. Okay, now we'll move on to remarks by invited guests, committees, or authorities. We did have Dr. Rosanna Cruz-Bibb was going to be here tonight, but she had a child that needed attended to, but we do have the chairman of Archway, Mr. Bill Leard, if you would like to update us with Archway.
I think we're also going to be on the agenda for October 25th, and Rosanna will be here then. But I felt like it, first of all, I want to come thank you for, we're about 9 months into this year. I want to thank y'all first for supporting Archway. Archway's been around for 14 years now, and I think it's done a lot of good for Hart County. And it wouldn't do it without the support of y'all and the major sponsors. school system and the city. Some of the things we're working on right now is Dwayne and I will meet with the Gateway Industrial Park tomorrow with solar installation that we're working with some students from the College of Engineering. So we've got 3 engineering projects which are pretty significant for Hart County to have at one time. And that one of those will be the park array up there. We've got a design on the system. We're working with them to build the system and place it on the sign that we bought a couple of years ago and light it. We'll be able to take a yard light down and that illuminates it now. And we're hoping that through that process we can get some students from Hart County High School and through the Career Academy that will come up there and interact with those college students too, which will, I think, helps a lot. It gives students an opportunity to kind of interact and see things that they might not be familiar with, and may end up choosing a career in that because it's a wide open career right now. Some of the other things is we're working on the reimagining the Hartwell's East Johnson Street. Hopefully the city is wanting to kind of look at that. It's designed as a residential street, but there's opportunities when GDOT comes in to do a lot of different things, and this is just one place that there may be some opportunities for engineering students to look there and give some support to the GDOT recommendations. We just finished up with the 2022 Northeast Georgia Ag Expo, and that couldn't have been done. I mean, it was Archway's a liaison with Farm Bureau, the ag community. Jeff was a big part of this. Brian Fleming was a big part of this, and the school system, charter school system, ag group. I think it turned out to be very good. It had over 700 people come to that day, and it looks to be something that will continue to grow in the future. Doing a Hartwell Main Street strategic plan, and that's through the Terry College business of and then the Hartwell City Hall parking lot and the parking park. When they build the fire station, they'll reinvent the parking lot there, and we're going to put a little green space in there, and they're helping some with that. Another thing is working on the Hart County Botanical Garden signage update, and that goes with a long list of things we've done for the Botanical Garden. That's one of the best assets Hartwell's had, and thanks to y'all that allowed them to use that space there. It's something that's just almost a hidden gem here in Hart County. One thing we're also working with is the Hart County Industrial Museum landscape design. The Garden Clubs in America has got a grant that's available, and they need a plan, so we bring landscape design. They're working on that to do something within native plants and things like that. That's up at the old Chamber of Commerce building, the old Historical Society. Alzheimer's and related dementia issue group. We're working with that now, setting it up. It's been going on about 6 months. They'll do at Hartwell Health on October 1, I believe. They'll have a survey down there with attendees to try to get some information from there, and we'll set up another meeting for two community-wide surveys that people can come in and talk about these issues. That's something that if you hadn't been touched by it, more than likely you will. I think at my time, right now, my age, I know more people that have Alzheimer's and been affected by Alzheimer's than cancer in a lot of cases. And I'm talking about these are issues that are really bad for the family, and it ties them down. So we're working with some things that might be very beneficial to Hart County here. MedLink marketing plan, they're working with that, and the landscape design for the commemorative bricks around the historic market at Hart County Training School for them. We're doing one thing that might be very interesting to any board member of any boards that we have in the community. The DDA and the chamber are wanting some board training for their boards, and we're working with Archway to provide something from either Carl Vinson or one of the colleges there to come in and so everybody understands their role as a board member. Typically, it used to be when you got on the chamber board, that meant you were going to haul tables and carry chairs and things like that for events. It's been, over time, I think the boards have been much more instrumental in policy and setting the goals for the future, and this will help them kind of know their role, those especially the people that ran you to the boards and all. Hart Education Foundation Marketing Plan, they've got the REACH Foundation. We attended today a scholarship presentation for those, and it's been under the REACH name, and the marketing, they want to do a marketing plan for the future to kind of tie it to all functions where you may have a tip-off club or a touchdown club. Some of the lower sports don't have clubs. Some of the academic academic clubs don't have fundraising. This might be an opportunity for that, so we're working with them there. That's about all right now, but once you get your kids back in school in September, it really opens up for many projects. And I've got Rosanna, she'll put most every meeting that comes up with students on the calendar, and I'll put it on my phone. It gets pretty hectic, but we couldn't do it without y'all, and I want to appreciate what you do, and hopefully we'll be able to come back in October with Rosanna and give you a little bit better update, a little bit more professional update with somebody that's used to get up here and speaking like this. But I appreciate it. If anybody's got any questions, I'll be glad to answer. But I do appreciate what y'all do and what y'all work with us, and hopefully it'll archway something that has value for you, and I know it does, but I think anything we do helps the whole community. Thank you.
All right. Anybody got any questions?
Appreciate it, Bill.
All right. Yeah, we appreciate it. You've done a great job. Yeah.
Thank y'all for all you did too, Bill.
All right. Reports by constitutional officer, department heads. We have anything?
Just have something for you to sign after the meeting today. We did get everything recorded today on the jail run project, and so
Come on,
that portion is over.
Come on, Ken.
We got everything recorded today on the jail run project, so that portion is over. Working on the final title insurance documents and disbursements, and we ought to be ready to start paying contractors shortly.
Okay.
One more thing for you to sign that we had left off earlier, so I'll get you after the meeting.
Okay.
You had been authorized previously to get those documents signed, so this is just one follow-up. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. County administrator's report.
Just one thing, just on the kind of update on the plane crash deal. We started setting up Wednesday, the 14th and 15th for recovery. And just to kind of let people get what's involved in these things. We had 17 local, state, and federal agencies together, and about 80 people that was involved. Fortunately, we had a contractor out of Oconee County that was able to raise the plane. We started at about 8 o'clock that morning. We was able to get the plane in shallow enough water to recover the victim at about 6 o'clock that night, which was our main goal. In the whole procedure, I think I got home about 2:30. Time to get the plane out, and it loaded up. So it all went as well as we could expect it. And again, I can't say thank you enough to these folks and the local businesses. We had 6 local businesses either provided pontoons, meals, rope, supplies, at no charge. So We appreciate everything they're doing and everybody that showed up and worked, and 99% of these people were volunteers, or they was not being paid. So we certainly appreciate that. And we met with the family this past Thursday. They was in town, wanted to meet with us. They were appreciative of our actions and gracious enough to buy French lunch for everybody working that Wednesday, that Thursday, all public safety people, and which was good. It was good to sit down and talk to them and answer what few questions they had, and so all in all, under a horrible situation, everything turned out as well as be expected. Other than that, that's all I have.
All right, thank you. And our heartfelt sympathy to that family. I know there's still a lot of issues that they're facing today that, they wasn't facing a month ago, and our thoughts and prayers are with those folks. Appreciate Terrell having a hip replacement, a week ago, and he's here ready to go tonight. And to be fair to the family, we did offer him the night off. We did. And it's his wife's birthday, but he wanted to be here with us. So we appreciate the dedication to Terrell. Okay.
He's going to be in the doghouse when he gets home. We just don't know it.
You don't know that yet.
I'm on 50 years.
Okay, that's all I have as chairman report. We'll move to District 1, Commissioner Bennett.
I don't have anything at this time, Mr. Chairman, other than just like to thank all the people with Hart County for the service they provide and what they do for us. When my phone's quiet, that means everybody's doing a great job. So thank them.
District 2, Commissioner Teasley.
I appreciate our public safety. Everybody under that umbrella, I appreciate the job that our county administrator Terrell does, and all the employees over here in the admin building. Still getting a few complaints about the trash bags. I don't know how many of them we still got left, but it'd be nice to get back, I guess, to the orange bags or whatever. Just still getting a few phone calls about that. That's all we got.
Okay, District 4, Commissioner Brown.
I just don't think I got piggybacking off what Terrell was saying about the plane crash. Thankful for those volunteers and the business owners stepping up and providing those meals. That's what Hart County is all about, coming together and, not looking for publicity or a pat on the back, but just showing up and helping out. So definitely want to make sure we say we appreciate those guys and what they did.
All right, District 5, Commissioner Dorsey.
Yeah, got a few things I want to talk about. First of all, I want to thank Terrell and Kim again for their efforts to this jail. This has been a tremendous undertaking. A lot of work went into this. Kudos, job well done to both of you. I just want to publicly express that again. Terrell, and I know we've already talked about this road striping, we're getting into the situation where days are getting shorter and people are going to be driving more at night. I know a contractor, we've already bid this thing out. If we can't get them in here pretty quick, we just need to move on and bid it out again.
Somebody else?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll give them a call, Rattler Cage again.
Yeah. And if I can't get it, let's put it on the agenda for the next meeting. We got to get this done because it's a safety issue. And then the other...
Yeah, we're about at the point where we just mix it in with the paving bid if we're going to put it back out.
I mean,
It needs to go out pretty quick.
I know we're all getting calls about that too.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
And then the other thing is a transfer station. I know we've authorized 2 heads, and I mentioned this at the last meeting. I'd like for the next meeting to have a corrective action plan, and I think the department head needs to be here to present that to the board on how we're going to get that thing back in compliance and get it back the way it was. And I know it's not going to be overnight, but it is a disaster out there.
Yeah, I was out there today, and they were cutting grass, and actually it looked better today than I've seen it in a while. Now, again, they was all, some on lawnmower, some picking up trash, but they was making an effort today to get part of it cleaned up.
I was out there Saturday. It looks 100% better than what it has. I'm serious.
Can you go to the back?
Yeah. Well, I'm saying 100% better. When I was there Saturday before, it looked like landfill.
We got a lot to do. We got building repairs that need to be done too, and that needs to be part of it, but we got to get all that trash picked up. So we can talk more about that later, but I would like to have that discussion at the next meeting so that people will know that we're taking this seriously. It's a reflection on this board to have that place operating the way it does. So that's all I got, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. All right, we'll move on to 12A, old business. Need a motion to open the floor up for public hearing for fiscal year 23 general fund budget, and this will give you an opportunity to speak your mind as far as the budget goes. So can we get a motion to open up and do a hearing? Motion. We got a motion by Commissioner Brown. Have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Teasley. So we declare this hearing open for general fund budget. Anyone like to speak? If not, can we get a motion to close the public hearing for the general fund budget? Commissioner Dorsey made the motion.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Teasley. All in favor? It's 5-0 vote. Okay, we'll move on to the adoption of the fiscal year 23 general fund budget. Gerald, do you have anything you want to go over?
No, I'm just going to give you the total number. Or you have it in front of you, too, as far as that goes.
I'll make a motion we adopt the 2023 general fund budget.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Dorsey. Second by Commissioner Brown. Any discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? It's 5-0 vote.
Just so everybody knows, and this is just the level of detail that goes into this budget. There were $16,232,728 requested in the budget. It was cut down to $14,613,678. So just show you how much effort goes into this operation. It's a budget, and again, Terrell spearheads this and does a great job.
And I'm the one standing up here, but the department heads and the elected officials are the ones that makes the decision where we can save money at.
Okay. Thank you for that comment. All right. Now we'll move on to 12C, lost millage.
You got to vote.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I made a motion to adopt.
You had a first and a second.
Okay, all right, all in favor? Okay, it's 5-0 vote. All right, then we'll move on to the lost millage rollback resolution. Give me a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
We got a motion by Commissioner Dorsey, a second by Commissioner Teasley. Any discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? It's 5-0 vote.
And by the way, just so folks will know, that rollback is from the lost tax, local option sales tax, which is...
It's 3 meals.
3.302 mils.
Right, that offsets your millage rate by a little over 3 meals. So the sales tax comes in, and we use it specifically for that purpose.
And basically, if we did not have that, then our millage would be 3
meals.
Would be 8 meals, 3 meals higher. So that's what, if anybody ever asks you about the loss, that's what that 1% sales tax does. All right. We'll have the public hearing for tax year 2022 millage rate. Can I get a motion to open the floor for public hearing?
We didn't vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. All in favor? 5-0 vote.
Come on, this gonna be all right, buddy.
All these employees going to get paid on that.
Just think, at least it's 4.75 and not 8.
Yeah, that's where the emphasis needs to be. Okay. All right, let's get on here. Public hearing for the tax year 2022 millage rate. Can I get a motion to open the floor? Public
So
hearing?
moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dorsey, second by Commissioner Teasley. All in favor? It's 5-0 vote. So the floor is now open for discussion of the millage rate for 2022.
Just to kind of give you the pointers of what it is we're talking about. This formula takes our entire tax base and it calculates out the reassessment value. versus the degrowth. So you'll see the numbers here in this formula by the state gives us the rollback figure. If we don't take this rollback, we're doing a tax increase, even though we're still using our holdback. The rollback for this year was 0.730 mils, or it's how much we had to roll the millage rate back to take care of the inflationary costs of reevaluation of the property. That's what this is about. And that brings our total millage rate for the county M&O to 4.75.
Okay, any public discussion? Anyone got any questions, sir? Okay, if not, can we get a motion to close the hearing? Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Brown, second.
Second.
We got a second by Commissioner Teasley. All in favor? It's 5-0 vote. All right, we'll move on down to the adoption of the tax year 2022 millage rate. Got a motion to adopt the...
So moved.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Dorsey to adopt the millage rate. Second by Commissioner Brown. Any discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? It's 5-0 vote. All right, next is county millage rate certification for tax year 2022. So we'll...
This is where it all comes together at. This is what they'll collect taxes on. Let's see, the millage rate, the EMS millage rate, and the school millage rate. You're going to get a combined rate for the complete tax of 16.562 mils overall. And just so everybody knows, we do not set the school millage rate, the school system sets it.
All right. Got a motion to approve this certification?
I make a motion to approve.
All right. Second by, motion by Commissioner Bennett, second by Commissioner Brown. Any discussion?
Just for the record, I will abstain from this vote based off advisement from the county attorney because my business does business with the school system based off of last year's recommendation, just so the record indicates that.
All right. Okay, any other discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? So it's 4 votes with 1 abstain. Okay. Amendment to Chapter 6, Article 1, and we had this is basically where we're changing the deadline to apply for restaurants to apply for distilled spirits.
License, correct. In our original ordinance, we had the due date for the applications to be in on the same day that it expired. So we backed up the date to make a matched beer and wine license. That's all it's done. The date they need to turn in for the new license so we can do the workup and they'll be approved in December.
All right, can we get a motion to take this second reading?
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Commissioner Dorsey, second by Commissioner Teasley. Any discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? It's 5-0 vote. All right, next on the agenda is the Emily Brown Kings Bench Lot Appeal. Do we have anyone here to speak on behalf? Yes. Okay.
Come on, folks.
Just want to kind of just provide a little context.
What's your name, sir?
Sure, Chase Brown.
Chase Brown.
Okay.
Okay.
What's your role in this, Mr. Brown?
So me and my dad bought the original piece of property and then have since built one home that's shown on here.
That's all information they've got, all these figures here, all emails have been back.
Okay.
Since 2020.
Got it, great. Yeah, so I mean, just a little bit of context. I mean, we bought this property I want to say 6 or 7 years ago. I think it had been approved and was in development for, I think, about 130 lots with, I think, a community dock. Our intention is to hold this piece of property in its entirety for an extremely long period of time. So like I said, we bought the property, we built a house. My dad is now interested in building on the property, and so are my in-laws. That's the original intent, and I think we actually have a updated lot layout that is different than what is currently shown. Yeah.
Now, this is the one I got in 2020, so it may, y'all redrew it.
Yeah, it's been redrawn. Which I would be happy to, if there's a way for me to go make a copy out front.
I'll make it, just let me see what's here.
Just smoother lot lines. And I think there's one less lot.
Yeah, because that was the reason it was denied before, is the lot shapes.
Multiple reasons.
Yeah, well, that was one of them.
Sure, yeah, we've since, I think we cut out one lot and then reconfigured 5, 4, 3, and 2 as it's currently shown.
Well, do you know the situation that we're in? We're under a moratorium. So we enacted that moratorium that there would be no subdivisions approved, okay? We also set a date that if anybody had one that was in the works, that we were grandfather. We didn't hear from you guys. So you've missed the cutoff date as well.
That was December 31st last year, I think.
December the 1st.
December 1st, yeah, and it was in December.
So, and I'm just curious, so we originally sent this in 2020, so what would we have needed to have done to gotten ahead of that?
The board set a cutoff date of December, I believe it was December the 1st.
No, December.
Run back to the health department, see what they had on
Sure.
there, waiting, just wasn't there.
Okay,
So that's how I fell through the crack. I didn't run my
Got it.
email back 2 years
Sure.
to see if somebody.
and when does the moratorium run through?
End of the year.
Sure. Our assumption was that because we had sent an email in to the planning department that we would have been in line for that. I did not know that we would have had to have been in line with the health department. We had done the soil surveys, we just had not submitted it to the health department.
I mean, this doesn't even meet the current requirements of what the new ordinance would require.
Meaning what?
The shapes of the
The
lots.
shapes of the lots, we still got oddball shapes of where's the road at on here?
Down at the southwest corner that's drawn.
And so our road frontage is not met either, according to our new ordinance.
Right in here.
That's, yeah,
What is the road frontage?
about 100 feet.
Okay. I think we have 75 shown.
I think it was done in February or March, where it went to 100 feet.
I mean, we haven't
We
adopted
haven't
it yet.
approved it yet,
But that's
what
where we're at.
talking about.
We have approved 100 feet. You approved it.
But we haven't adopted,
You approved the 1 acre minimum
Right,
and
but-
100-foot front.
the moratorium's still in effect because we're not approving any subdivisions until the end of the year.
I'm talking about a single lot.
Yeah.
Single lots, if we voted on the 100 feet, I know. On the 100 feet on the road front.
Right.
That was voted on.
I mean, I believe, I don't know the exact number, I don't know if it's recorded on here, but I believe each of these lots would be multiple acres.
It's on an existing county road, it's got to be 3 acres.
That's not a county road.
It's not, because it's not on here, so I don't know.
No, it's there right, it's a private road.
I'm going to make a motion that we deny it based on what we've talked about. I mean, nothing's changed until the moratorium's lifted, then we can go back and reconsider it, but it needs to be brought in compliance with where our new subdivision ordinance is going. I hate to be that way, but the cutoff's a cutoff. If we go back and make an exception here, we got to go back and do it for everybody else. And I'm not trying to be difficult, but we got to be fair and we got to follow our policies, so,
You got a motion?
yes.
A second. Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Dorsey, second by Commissioner Brown to deny this
Appeal. Appeal.
appeal. Any discussion, any other questions, or? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? It's 5-0 vote. I will ask.
Sure.
Did you mention someone else was getting ready to build a house?
No, my father, who's one of the original buyers of this entire tract, is interested in building his own house.
Okay. There's nothing that says you can't split it up to do that.
Family.
Right. If you want to, if that can go ahead and happen, couldn't
The
it?
state exemption to Emily one day, and I don't know what you're quite up to, but come back and sit down. You can do up to 5 splits in the family.
But not for development purposes.
Yeah, this is not for development purposes.
Right. Again, like I say, father, mother, sister, brother.
Your blood is what it is.
Well, you got to bring in the family members when they're married.
Right.
Okay.
But that is an option that you can be looking at.
Sure, yeah, and we're not in a particular hurry, so I mean, realizing that we missed the cutoff based of not being in the health department, I get it, I mean, that's our mistake, so.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if it's going to be kept within the family,
Got it.
it will under the estate.
Okay, we'll get back with you, thank you.
And it's a lot more lenient than something for development.
Okay, got it.
All right, thank you. 12 eyes, bid opening for tennis pickleball lighting. Bids.
We'll be right back with the bids.
We got 2. Would have been done a lot faster ago when we vote on everything.
Pretty good.
I started mentioning, I said, Chairman, let's be in a hurry.
y'all.
I think you was moving through it pretty quick, wasn't you?
It takes 4 of us to keep you straight.
We was getting ready to call a timeout or defer to the second half.
We got to.
Yeah, give that Frank, you better.
No, you ain't either.
There, Marshall.
Yeah, Frankie said, yeah, they attorney was telling me one of the.
Oh, yeah. Got too many numbers on there.
They need to put price on the front page, in the millions all scattered around in there, you have to look for it like each.
Jump around these to get some experience at this.
What if I cut my finger?
Oh, God.
We got a bid from Corey Clark Electric LLC out of Claremont, Georgia, $232,297.
I got one out of Middle Georgia Outdoor Lighting. Macon, Georgia, so where they're from. Price on their bid is $200,540 even. No change.
Make a motion, we turn these over to the county administrator and recreation director and advisory board for review.
I second that.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Dorsey to turn these over to rec advisory and administrator and for their recommendation, and second by Commissioner Brown. Any discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? It's a 5-0 vote. All right, we'll move on to new business, GDOT authorization resolution for transit funds. That's basically something we do every year, our transit system. And
Make a motion, we approve.
Second.
okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Dorsey, second by Commissioner Teasley. Any discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? 5-0. All right, next on the agenda is the Patricia Clark request for use of courthouse grounds for voter registration drive. Is anyone here?
Yes, ma'am.
If you'd like to come up and speak.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Are you Miss Clark?
I am Miss Gary Clark to Gary, however. There's a few things in my life that I want to bring out. I'm a veteran. I served 13 years Air Force.
Thank you.
And then I did Homeland Security. And I like to give to the community. And there's some obligations I feel as a U.S. citizen that we should do. And one of them is to vote. And we have a lot of people here that do not vote. And I've done voting drives at Quality Foods out in front. And I said to myself, why there? Why can't I go in the middle of town and do a drive someone there? And I'm asking you if I can set up a table, and that's the only thing I need. I do not need electricity or anything, because I checked over with the voter registration people at the Election Bureau. And so the only thing I want to do is put up a little table on October 5th. There's a court date. Court is in session that day, so we'll have an influx of people. And I just wanted, it's nonpartisan. I just want to get out the word and try to register people to vote. I would be there basically from 9 to noon.
Are you with the organization, or is it just you solely doing this on your own?
I'm doing this basically on my own.
Okay, so there's no organization that you're representing here?
No, it's nonpartisan. And that's the same way I did it at Quality. My mom used to do it for the American Women's League of Voters, but I can't find any organization like that. So I've done it, I did it for the last 2 elections.
Are you handing out any materials, like sample ballots or anything of that nature?
No, the only thing we'll have is the voter applications, and then I'll also have the information from the Election Bureau asking for poll workers, so that would be something, I guess, asking if people want to work for poll. But the only thing I'll be doing is registering voters or giving them the website where they can do it online.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Are you checking valid IDs for this?
We do check valid IDs, and that was something that I thought that I was going to have to do. I thought I was going to have to bring a printer and copy, but we do not have to do that. That is done by when you go vote. And that was from the election, the Bureau itself. I do not have to make a copy of the IDs. Anything I do collect is held, I handle it as privacy information.
Have you talked to the Board of Elections about this?
That's what I'm talking about, yes.
And what was did they take any action as a board?
No, they feel that it's wonderful. They want to see me go out and do it.
But I think that for them to take action, there has to be a vote by that board. An individual member can't commit that board because there's 3 members on there. That's why I'm asking the question. I don't have a problem with what you're doing, but I think it's all got to be with their blessings. I'll make sure they're okay with it because they're responsible for it.
Everyone I've talked to in that building is giving me the blessings. And, they gave me a stack of registration forms like this. And I have the rules, exactly what I need to do, and how to get that information back to the registers immediately. I have a 10-day period, but I want that information returned in the same day. I figured October 5th would be perfect, like I said, because of the docket, and also, people are registering their cars and vehicles, and you have a lot more. I don't need to go in the building. I don't need to use anything. I'll bring my little card table, and it'll probably be just me and another person.
I'll have to check with Robin and see, but, if you're doing the registration right there at the courthouse, and then you say you're checking valid IDs.
Well, we look at their driver's license.
And then they go home.
Or state ID.
They go home and apply for an absentee ballot. Who's checking them now?
the election, because I take everything I do, I bring it right over to the election bureau.
You don't have a copy of the driver's license, though. You said you wasn't
Right, I'm
copying
not going to
anything.
take a copy of that. They do that.
Well, you don't have to provide that if you register online, no way. I mean,
Right, they
You-
verify everything. And then when you go to vote, of course, you have to show either a state ID or your driver's license to vote.
Well, there's some other activity. I see somebody up here on Wednesday handing out some kind of material, but they on the sidewalk. I don't know what they're doing up there.
It's not us, they're on the sidewalk. Yeah, be
She's not gonna be on the sidewalk, you're gonna be on the grounds. You're gonna-
Yeah, that's what I don't need to be right up at the courthouse. I mean, I can be right near the entrance, and I'm just going to bring a little old-fashioned card table and put voter registration, like I said. I'm not going to wear any badges or anything. It's nonpartisan.
I'll make a motion to give her permission to use courthouse grounds for voter registration. No campaigning, voter registration.
I second.
I think it needs to be contingent on the Board of Elections getting their graces, because it impacts them. They need to be part of this decision.
Would, are you saying that they're gonna have to take a vote on it? The board, or are you sure if someone up there just gives her, written permission?
It's a board, so there's three.
Well, somebody's given the impression that there wasn't no problem with her, she wouldn't be here.
Well, I understand, but the only way they can do that is through a vote by the board, just like us.
I rescind my vote with the,
And I just
With
think,
amendment.
with all this, the election fraud stuff that's been thrown out here, I just want to make sure that nobody thinks that we're taking this lightly and that we're doing our due diligence to make sure that we.
Well, I'm not taking it lightly.
Oh, I know, but I'm
It's just, that,
I didn't mean that we were, but.
well,
We don't
mean,
want to
it's-
get in the
this is-
opposite either. We're looking
she can
like we're
set up
denying it.
anywhere in town on a private business. I mean,
Right.
she's been doing that.
But
So,
coming through the county, though, I think we've got to involve the other boards that this involves.
if we do it with the amendment of the board, then she won't have to come back here if we go ahead and vote on it, that's what I was saying.
As long as it's contingent upon they're okay,
That's
I'm
what I
good
was
with it.
rescinding and.
I don't have a problem with it.
I'll amend my motion as approval by our consensus of the election board, and Commissioner Bennett amends his second.
Yes.
I mean, she could get this, you said October 5th, the date that you want to do this.
Exactly, because the
I mean,
last
they
day
are
to
going to be
register
able
is the
to vote
11th.
on this for her
Yeah,
beforehand,
that's what I'm
right?
saying. You won't have time to come back here, so you
right.
can go ahead.
They wouldn't be able
When is the last day to vote, register to
11th.
vote? October 11th? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Any other discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? It's 5-0. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Everybody does need to vote.
All right, next on the agenda is to send out basketball bids.
Correct. Bids for
Have
basketball
a motion
uniform.
for basketball bids for uniforms.
Correct, uniform.
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
we got a motion by Commissioner Teasley and a second by Commissioner Dorsey. Any other discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? It's a 5-0 vote. All right, move on down to 14, public comment. Anyone here would like to address the board on any matters of county business? Yes, ma'am. If you would come to the front, state your name and address for us, please.
I had a big one, I apologize for not having it on the board, so I'm trying to think where we can put that. This is what I want y'all to look at. That would be wonderful. How close you think you can-
If you could walk back and forth here, come on, Terry.
From her walk back there.
Okay, I've seen that.
Gentlemen,
Yeah.
my name is Sue Heath, and I'm a county resident, and I'm here to talk about Heath Cove. and I know you all are familiar with that because it's been a talk for a good bit. My presentation tonight is to see if you all could understand that what I'm trying to do is to get the county to complete the maintenance on Heath Cove that they started. And that's why I had the pictures. Because if you, I'm going to go through there quickly, explain them, and I know I have limited time. I'm going to refer to my notes because there's some measurements and things in there like that. But the top row of pictures, can everybody see that?
Yes, ma'am.
And if I have to take it from her and walk in front, I don't mind.
Could you pass it around here? I mean, I can't see it, to be honest. Just,
Right now, I'm just going to talk about page picture 1 through 6.
I'm familiar with it, I've seen it. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so these pictures, 1 through 6, represent a portion of Heath Cove that has not received any maintenance by the county since September of 2021.
So when you say maintenance, explain what you mean by maintenance.
The maintenance of our gravel road,
Okay.
because the maintenance sign is at the end.
So that's just the end of where we say it's a county road. That's all it is.
It says end of maintenance.
End of county maintenance, which is the end of the county road.
Right.
Okay.
But
So-
in the past, that road from inception of 2001, that road was gravel, scraped and gravel,
And-
all the way to the end.
And the only reason
And
that
can I
it looks
just
like...
finish?
Okay, all right, go ahead.
Okay. And I've had to call up here over the past to explain, I mean, they stopped right in the middle of my driveway. And I would call and explain to them that the end of county maintenance, the sign is there. And I'm interpreting that to be, along with all the other residents, that that road is a county road to the end.
No,
It stops right there at the sign.
it's the last property. Is that
Okay.
right?
The last property.
Isn't that right, Terrell? The last property before
Where the
road
sign
ends?
is where it stops.
Yep, we're at
Okay.
That's what I was trying to explain a while ago.
is that the sign there?
Right.
What it is it's got grass all over it, and it looks like it hasn't been scraped. It's not a rough road.
It was originally scraped, and this down here, and this is right here.
I came and looked at it, I'm familiar with it.
This was, because I measured it, I measured this section of the road, and it goes from 13 feet to 10 feet wide, and you can tell, when you look at this, when they grade it, that I own the property to the end of the road, and all my property, I have donated, however you want to say it, the 60-foot right-of-way to the county. And when I called up here before, they said, well, the end of the sign is the end of the maintenance, and we don't go past the last house. And I said, but that's not what the sign says. I've got a 60-foot right-of-way that I gave to the county, so why isn't that road maintained to me?
So it's the width, 60 foot is the width of the road.
No, I understand that.
So, I mean, I've been up there and looked at it. If you want us to maintain 60 foot, well, you're going to have to take those trees down and all that. You're asking why we're not doing
No,
it.
I'm asking you, if you look at this road, you look at the road, let me get my paper for that.
Yeah.
Other pictures. I'm not asking anything more than the top part of Heath Cove, where the sign separates, and you start coming down the road. Well, I'm going to finish this. This is from my house going out my driveway to the end of the road. Okay? And this next set of pictures is now I'm leaving my house, going up Heath Cove. And this is my driveway. This is gravel that's been put in, that we put in. This is that you're going down Heath Cove, and the variance of Heath Cove is from 10 feet to 20.8 feet. And this section right here It varies from 20.5 feet from the point of the pole, which is by the property stake rather, which is on this side, and that shows that. And it goes down to 10 feet. And then in between picture number 6, you go down there and it's 13 feet wide. And that's where the original gravel was made. It came down that far. And then when you look at this set of pictures, then 7 through 12, 7 through 12. These pictures show the portion of coming out of my driveway, driving down Heath Cove until it intersects with Heathwood Circle. And when it intersects with Heathwood Circle, then this is the intersection, 16 and 17. And this one, I'm coming down Heath Cove from Ren Road to where it switches to Heath Cove. And I'm coming down the road, 16, and you can see the curve in the road of how it curves. And Heath Cove is a straight road from the sign all the way down. This is Heath Cove. This is the beginning of Heathwood Circle. And that's coming in. If I'm going out, it's just the opposite. You can see the curve. There's the fork that the county did grade because that ended up being a big mud hole. So this is Heath Cove. This is Heath Cove going straight. But you can tell that when they came in that gravel, you could see the ridge going this way and you could see the ridge going this way. And 3 weeks ago, Steve was out there with the mower. And I saw him and I was leaving, and I stopped and told him who I was and wanted to know if he was going to be mowing all the way down to the end of where the maintenance ends where the sign says it is. And he said, this is only my second time out here, but that's where I go and then I turn. And I said, no. Heath Cove is a straight road to the side. That's the beginning of Heathwood Circle. And you can tell when they come out there and maintain the road, they make the curve. They don't come from the curve down to my house. And all I'm asking is that the road was budgeted to be scraped and gravelled, and down where my section of Heath Cove, they don't even do it to my property, past my driveway.
Remember, we can't. We have to stop at your property line.
All right, my property line is at the end of the road.
Your initial property line.
My initial property
Initial
line.
property. By the law, it has to stop right there. We can't, if we go farther than that, we're doing your driveway.
No, but if my property line ends.
No, it's not where your property line ends, it's where your property line starts.
That begins private property.
So this is your lot right here. Let's just say this is your lot.
Right here, I got the map.
And the road comes here. We
He's got
stop
it on
right
the map
here. We
right
can't
there.
go further down. That's what he's trying to explain to you.
What I'm trying to explain to you is I own the lot where my house is. This is all one tax lot.
Yes, ma'am.
From my state
He's got it pulled up right there.
to, this right here, that 215 goes, that's my property. So why isn't my property, if it goes the width of the property, maintained to where the sign sits right here, say in the county maintenance?
There's a sign right there where you got the air at, Terrell.
The sign is right here.
I can understand. I'm going to look at it on the map.
no,
You know about where it's at there, Terrell, right there?
It's not down all the way.
County ordinance says that when we adopt these roads,
Is it
we
right-
go
is
to
it
the
right
last
there?
property.
Looks like it right there. You can see it on the little white thing.
It dead ends. There's a gully at the end of the road. So going to be Fiscal there. Well,
It would have to stop right, again, you got
The
another,
property line is the last property
there's the
line.
last property right there, right
So
here.
that's where that stops, right there. Go back up where that property line comes in, Terry. Between C 390050 and 51 is where we stop. Right there.
Right, it'd have to stop.
That's where the end of county maintenance sign
By
is.
law, that's where it's got to stop.
But that's not really making.
but that's not where, I mean, if you all have come back out there and
What,
done that.
what do you want done as far as maintenance? I mean,
The only thing I would like is when they come out and, I mean, look at the difference.
I've been up there. I'll show you pictures that I took.
Well, no, I mean, I just took.
This is the road you're talking about, right? That's from the end of the maintenance sign looking down. What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with it is I have to maintain it.
What do you have to maintain?
Cut the grass. I mean, it was
I mean,
already, Joey, it was already.
Just because there's grass growing in the road doesn't mean it's not being maintained. It's got ditches, it's got a crown and everything.
But no, it has no ditches and ground.
I disagree. It's clear in this picture that
If you
there's,
go down this road here.
I'm not gonna argue about it.
And you come out looking down, y'all did a great job crowning East Cove from the sign.
that road has a crown on it, ma'am. That is a crown.
Well, y'all had come out there before and graded it and taken care of it. And all I'm asking is, I mean, stopping in my driveway with just leaving, I mean, you can tell right there that this is only 10 feet top, 10 feet wide here.
We have a lot of county roads. I'm not gonna say a lot. We got, I don't know how many miles, 60 miles of dirt roads left, I think. But you've got a lot of these roads where there's grass growing right in the center of it. And you can see where the two tracks are. Similar to that. Somebody's been driving in there.
Yeah, I drive down there.
And there's plenty of gravel there. It's just that the grass has grown through it. That is a smooth road. There's ditches on both sides and there's a crown on it. I don't see why it needs to be maintained. It's got plenty of gravel on it.
No, it doesn't have plenty of gravel.
Okay, I'm not gonna argue.
Okay, let's get with, Terrell, can we get with the road superintendent and y'all get together and come up with a conclusion? I mean, we all understand that if it's end of road maintenance,
Let me ask a question.
we can't go.
Let me get my clarification. Is this your driveway right here?
Yes, that's my driveway.
All right. Who else uses that to gain access to a residence?
Nobody.
No, people use that road because they don't, the GPS does not.
That's my question. My question is, who
There's not a
lives
house or
there?
anything beyond that.
Nobody lives there. I own that property. But what happens is
No, you don't own
people,
this property over here, do you?
yes,
You do on both sides?
On both
Okay,
sides.
Okay, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I
yeah.
thought you just don't live.
No, we were just talking on this side. And what happens is when the people come down Ren Road, the Heath Cove sign is hard to see. And they take it that they're just going straight. And they come down there. There's been fire trucks that have come down there. And the only place they can turn around is right down here. And that's where they go to turn around. Because my driveway has a slant to it. And people that come in there and back out throw my gravel that's there. So Mr. Dorsey asked the question, what do I want? I would love it if you could come and you don't have to make it look like this. You know, I'm not asking you to do that, and there aren't any ditches back in there.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen the topography. If it needed ditches, if it didn't have any ditches, it'd be water.
They have never, because that hill is Heath Cove, where it continues straight, rises from that point. Everything else is downhill, and then Heath Cove goes like that, and it's level.
Show that, Terry.
We'll determine, we cannot do work on private property. That's our main.
Show that to Terrell.
But it's not private property.
At the point it says end of county maintenance, it's private property at that point.
Well, why is that stopped right at my driveway? Why
But it
get
has
it?
to, that's,
That's the law,
I mean, we can't.
because nobody else
Nobody else lives-
owns,
Well, why
uses your
over the last
driveway.
20 years did you all come out and do something to it?
If you didn't have
I wasn't here 20 years ago. I don't know. But
And I
but
know-
we will get the road
These
superintendent and
roads-
Terrell can
I
get
was on the
together.
board when it was taken in.
And
Well, I know, I talked to Paul about it, and he said that he, because he was the superintendent that I went to before, and he said, well, come out there.
Paul's not,
Stop. Paul.
No, Paul's not there, Mr. Chitwood, he referenced Miss Chitwood to me.
We never had a chip with you,
I'm just
But
saying.
Paul takes the work order. She has absolutely nothing to do with the road department.
Okay, all right. Well, then I should
Shannon
have
Page
it on that.
is the superintendent.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Paul does a lot of things, like address and everything else, but Paul doesn't not physically have anything to do with it.
Okay. Well, I know you're busy, and I had called you and told you what the situation was, and you were going to look into it. But I know there's a lot of
I probably
other
looked at it, but
And-
I didn't have
and-
that. How long ago that been? A month or so back?
Well, it's just been within the last couple months that the road
I was up there
graded.
2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I've been up here several times and looked at, well, ever since our attention was brought to it being a dirt road, I've been up
Yeah.
there. But
But I can't understand, I guess I've been living there since 1999 and owned the property since '84, and y'all took it over in 2001. And the county has maintained that road up until last year. They didn't come down there and do anything to it. And, what is my 60-foot right-of-way? There was a comment made a couple weeks ago about, well, people, they've turned their land over to the county, so we'll maintain that.
No, when you turn 60-foot right away, we maintain the road itself, nothing no more.
Well, I said property, but I meant the road. So if I have a 60-foot right-of-way that's been turned over to you,
We looked at right away.
This is a 60-foot right-of-way. But just because it's 60 foot, Wren Road was 40 foot. The other one was
Right, no, I
60
know
foot.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the reason you got 60 foot is so that you could do things that you may need to do, widen it out or whatever. If you were to pave one right now to DOT standards, you're going to have at least a 50-foot wide strip, because you got to have a 20-foot wide surface with your crown, then you got to have your shoulders, then your ditches, and it's going to take up right at 50 feet. So,
well,
But I will get a-
but I mean,
probably next week,
I would just
we'll ride around
appreciate
and look
it
at
if it could, if I have to maintain it, then, if you could
Well,
help
when you
me
say
out.
you having to maintain it, what are you doing?
Well, I'm having to have my guy cut, I have to pay somebody to come cut my yard because I can't cut it.
So you're just talking about the grass being cut?
Well, the grass being cut, I mean, I drive down there, people drive down there. But I was under the impression that because of living there since '99, and the county has come out there and has scraped it, and you scrape right to my driveway. I mean, I'd like to
So what
look
they're
at,
doing, they're looking at the last driveway and they're stopping it.
because there's nobody else that's living in there.
There's no residents below. I can tell you why they're doing it. Because, there's no residents below you, so they can stop your driveway. I mean, that makes sense.
yeah, but me being a resident, all that property is my property, so if
Correct, but
if I
how do you-
wanted to put a driveway in and put a little art studio down there,
That'd be fine.
Then-
They'd work it down to that driveway.
then they'd work it down to that driveway. Well, can you come out and do one last scrape?
Well, I don't know about that.
Or
That's up
come
to
out and
Shannon.
see me?
Spoke too quick. That's up to Shannon, not me. But we'll come back and I'll
Have a look at it, that's really just what I'd like
Okay.
to have to stand out there and talk with either Mr. Brown, my commissioner, or with you, that would be wonderful.
I can give you a date, but
Well, no, I
shoot me an email with a telephone number,
Okay,
and I'll make me a note when I can, I'll give you a call.
okay, I appreciate it, all right.
thank you. All right, anyone else, public comment? If not, I do have one public comment that was sent to me by text, and with a hurricane coming up through the Gulf this week, we're projected to have some heavy rain, possibly high winds. Just want to thank all our emergency service personnel in Hart County, utility service workers, and HTC, Hart, EMC, and Georgia Power for their work, and for Terrell, who I know is watching the weather on top of his heavy workload. And that was from Mr. Jeremy Haley, and we appreciate him for that. And also, if you don't believe this is true, I'll show you the text, but also our commissioners have always done a great job prioritizing bridge and road culvert replacements after heavy storm damage. Despite issues we all continue to work through together, Hart County does a great job anticipating issues and resolving emergency problems. So we appreciate that, Jeremy. We appreciate compliments. I mean, sometimes those are few and far between a lot of times, but we do appreciate it and appreciate your recognizing our emergency services and stuff.
We're probably going to have a lot of boys from Georgia Power and EMC probably going down to Florida.
Right.
Yeah, I met a lot of them going down that way today.
Yes, there's a bunch of Georgia Power folks already down there, so thoughts and prayers with them and with everybody in that path of that hurricane, that's for sure.
That's true. All right. Can I get a motion to adjourn and go into executive session for personnel?
Public comment? Anybody else?
Oh, was there any? Well, I asked for that before I read that one. Anybody else?